Hello, fabulous internet people, and welcome to another episode of Right Now, where I torture my guests into coming up with a story on the spot, and it's a lot of fun. Today's guest is Sarah Cooke.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
I'm always interested because we're always interacting with people on the social medias, but we never actually sit down and get to chat with them or do fun stuff with them. So it's always cool when I get to bring people on and do this weird thing.
Yeah, get to chat face to face.
Exactly. And Sarah has a campaign that's currently live, and if I ever figure out how to do this, it will be shared. Did that work? It did. Did. So tell us about No Spell Lasts Forever.
So it's a 6-issue series. This is the campaign for issue number 3. There are catch-up tiers, digital and physical catch-up tiers, if you haven't been following. Aw, puppies. But yeah, it's a noir contemporary fantasy about a magic-using criminal who meets an early death and makes a deal with the devil for a second chance at life. But the big question for her is, can she go through with it? And what does it mean for her if not? We've got some really cool variants, some digital posters, lots of good stuff. Tonight is the last night to pledge and get the early bird digital indie comic bundle. But yeah, lots of exciting stuff.
As a writer who bounces around from genre to genre, I love the mashup you have going on here.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of different stuff thrown into the story and thrown into the tone. You got noir, you got urban fantasy, supernatural, all that kind of good stuff, which makes for something interesting and new.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was one of the things that I was wanting to go for when I was writing the series. I'm a big fantasy fan, and especially kind of like contemporary fantasy. But I also just really like the aesthetics of noir. And kind of finding a way to bring those together was one of the things I was going for.
So 6 issues. I'm curious about that. What made you want to do 6 issues?
It felt like the right length for this story. The main thing is it felt like the right length for the story. It felt like the length that the story needed to be. And it's also just kind of a standard length for a miniseries or a trade, something like that. If I wanted to collect it at some point, it would be the right length for that.
I do a lot of one-shots and 2-parters, and the thought of doing a 6-issue, kind of starting with issue one campaign, and then kind of banging them out through every issue seems daunting. So it's something to be proud of, definitely.
Oh, thanks.
So let's see how much time is left. What do we got? 24 days. So your counts are definitely going to go up there. You already hit your funding goal, and I'm loving it. Already a project we love. So you're checking off all the boxes.
Yeah, that was the first time I got that, so that was exciting.
It's always awesome when they throw it on there when they think you have something cool. So speaking of fantasy, today's episode of Right Now, the theme is flying. I don't really know how that's going to work. So the idea I thought was we have to include something that flies in every sentence. So the way Right Now works is I'm going to start off by writing a sentence. Sarah will write a sentence after me, then I'll go, then Sarah will go, and we will alternate until we have a completed story. The flying element needs to be in every sentence for it to qualify. Otherwise, I scream and I yell, and then we will have to fix it. So Sarah and I have not planned this. We don't know where we're going, so it should be fun to see how it progresses. And I like to zoom in so that it's easier for people at home, the studio audience, to see. And how should we kick this off? So flying. I want to, like I said, I want to stick with the fantasy. So I will say at the flying. No, I don't like the way that. The floating city of, I don't know, Floatsville. Floating city of Floatsville held its first annual hot air. No, what? Hot air balloon. On the hottest day of the summer. So I figure if we put the story in a floating city, it will offer us plenty of opportunities to have flying whatever.
I like it.
And yeah, hot air balloon would be my flying element.
Okay. Hmm.
Where to take it from here?
Hmm.
I've given my dog these chewable bones, and the good thing is that they love them. The bad thing is that I can't reuse them because they eat them and then and then they're gone.
That's funny. What's the best way to say?
Oh, you took off an easy one.
Yeah. What do you call someone who pilot?
Let's see. Hot air balloon. I Google so much during these episodes. Hot air balloon operator called. Let's see if we call this specific. An aeronaut. That is so cool.
That is cool.
That's a cool. It's like something so simple and easy that like you think would apply to something else, but no, it's
something fancier. Yeah.
No, if you think about it, it makes sense because they're like the first people that got to fly things.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess astronaut is space people, aeronaut would be sky people. And who thought that like would actually be planes in the future?
Yeah.
I love how he created this nice fantasy setup for all sorts of flying things, and you chose birds. But at least we checked off that box. The birds were at full force, and the aeronauts had to dodge. Here we go. Let's get a character in here. But Charlie wasn't concerned about that as he used the birds as target practice for his remote controlled drone. So yeah, I'm imagining Charlie as a kid, but I didn't establish that yet. Like one of those bully kids. I have a drone. I'm gonna take out a whole bunch of birds with them. That's like the kid that shoots slingshots at squirrels.
Yeah.
Cruelty.
Charlie is that kid.
What do we got here? Charlie's drone had taken out many a bat in its day.
If he's the mean kid going after,
he takes the birds in the day and then and takes out the bats at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. How about this? Cut it out. Charlie's sister, Abigail shouted as she nailed him in the side of the head with a paper airplane. This is going to get... I mean, there are plenty of things that can fly. The problem is keeping the story going while finding ways to utilize them in like a sentence.
Yeah.
Because how are you supposed to have a flying thing in every sentence?
Every sentence.
Like if Charlie's going to respond to her, I don't know what you would do. You would need to do something silly. Like something that doesn't have to do with what he's doing. Just kind of like throw it in there. I love... There we go. Charlie chased after having tried to steal her kite. Perfect. I love the... I can hear your keyboard typing. So I know whenever you're done. It just... Charlie chased after Abigail and tried to steal her kite. Mom... Mom, Abigail. No. Mom, Charlie is chasing after me. Abigail yelled towards her house as the children used their how should I know what I want to use, I just don't know what to call them. Use their let's just do this. I'm making up things. It's a fantasy story. Use their arrow sneakers.
I like it.
To run across the sky. No, I gotta adjust this sentence. Towards the house. Abigail yelled across the way as the children used their arrow sneakers to run across the sky towards... How about their floating house? Because why not? You got the main city of Floatsville, and then like I guess all it's like what is that city? What's that city in Italy? With Venice, with all the channels.
Oh yeah.
Instead of canals connecting all the buildings, it's just
well,
the
air
sky. It's just the sky.
I like it.
Maybe you could get a flying gondola in there.
Oh, I like that.
So where'd you get the inspiration for No Spells Last Forever? Like, what were the influences or the things that you wanted to throw in there?
I think as far as some of the like fantasy stuff, I was reading a lot of like fantasy novels at the time, and Lee Bardugo and stuff like that. And then just old noir movies. Like I liked the aesthetics of noir, and just kind of watched a bunch of the old noir movies to kind of prepare for it.
If they find ways to make characters so cool, you know,
yeah.
Even though they're not, a lot of them aren't cool. They're like I don't know, 50s overweight smoking alcoholics, but they're cool cats. You know?
Yeah. They're so dramatic.
Yeah. I love those kind of mashups, like Fables by Bill Willingham. It's kind of that. You know what was interesting like that? You ever see the movie Bright on Netflix?
Oh yeah.
That's got kind of that urban, grungy police procedural with fantasy.
Yeah,
into it.
it does. That is a good kind of genre mashup.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have a bad habit of distracting people on this show.
Oh, no worries.
Hey. Their mom told Charlie to cut it out, but Charlie said, "Mom, Abigail is acting like a dodo." Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, okay. How do you write nuh-uh? Nuh-uh? Is that it?
That looks right to me.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, Abigail. Bemoaned and went on. Charlie's hurting birds, and he chased me, and he tried to steal my kite. I'm just imagining a girl, man, like daughter, just rattling on all the things. Charlie's hurting birds, and he chased me. And he tried to steal my kite. And we can't use the same element, so we have to come up with something new. So, and he tried to steal my kite, just like he stole my what are those things called? Those whirly flying thingies, the like kids' toys. Whirly flying toy. Have a name? Whirly gig.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Good old Google. Just like he stole my whirly gig last weekend. What did writers do before Google?
I
If
know.
they needed to know
What
something.
did you do?
Honey, I gotta go to the library and have this one question that I need answered.
Wow. It's been a lot harder.
Charlie's hurting birds, and he chased me, and he tried to steal my kite, just like he stole my whirly gig last
weekend. I like it.
We need some sort of like inciting incident to come up.
Yeah.
Maybe their mom could figure something out. Are you familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh yeah.
Do you watch? So the sequel was Korra, which is what I named one of my puppies. The girl.
Aw.
Her name is Korra, which it kind of, it's not exactly noir, but they put it in the city instead of Avatar, so it's a little bit more urbanized. So it does have that kind of feel, a little bit of a feel of like fantasy noir going on.
Oh, cool.
Because the one of the firebenders, one of the main characters, he joins the police force, so he has to like solve mysteries and crimes and stuff. So it's definitely have that, a little bit of that crime element to it.
Oh, nice. Kind of like I feel like Carnival Row. It's not as contemporary, but it is.
That was a cool show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a book that I just didn't bother to read.
Yeah, I haven't read the book yet.
But the show was definitely fun.
Yeah, show was
that
good.
Steampunkish, urban steampunk kind of.
Steampunk is the right.
Well, it didn't lean all the way to steampunk, but it had a little steampunkish flair to it.
Mm-hmm. That was a good show.
Their mom said, "Charlie, stop teasing your sister, or you won't get to ride the flying gondola." Charlie, stop teasing your sister. You won't get to. Nope, wrong sentence. Both kids reluctantly shut up and listened to her mother as she ordered. Both kids reluctantly shut up and listened to her mother as she ordered. Now go to the I feel like something we could do to cheat is just put flying at the beginning of literally anything. Just go to the flying grocery
The flying
store.
grocery store.
That's too cheap. I need to give them an errand, like an objective.
Mm-hmm.
Both the kids reluctantly shut up and listened to her mother as she ordered. Now go to the, how about the grocery store and buy more. What are you yelling at? And buy more. I was gonna say buy more carrots for the flying pigs. When pigs could fly. No, I need a good flying animal that they could feed. Dragon. What would dragons eat though?
Yeah, that's a good question that they'd have at the grocery store.
What would they buy? Right. Go to the, how about the butcher? How about, I got something even worse. People aren't gonna like me for this one. Now go to the butcher store and buy a couple dragon steaks for dinner tonight. Brother and sister running errands for mom. Classic story told in a floating city. And then we have to have something go awry on this little outing. No, you know what your typing sounds like? I made a video once and I needed a typing sound effect. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's just it sounds exactly like the sound effect that I downloaded.
That's funny.
Charlie and Abigail headed to the store, but ran into a horde of angry bees. I was thinking about doing bees last sentence, but like you can't really feed bees. What do you feed bees? Charlie and Abigail headed to the store, but ran into a horde of angry bees. Flailing. No, that's the wrong line. Flailing there. Okay, let's get some drama going. Some action, I mean. Flailing their arms all around. Fend off the tiny attackers. Charlie and Abigail. Charlie and Abigail ran for their lives only to miss a. What are they going to miss? Something that was flying.
Something flying.
I was going to say a flying step, but I'm trying to stay away from just putting flying in front of everything. Flinging their arms all around to fend off the tiny attackers, Charlie and Abigail ran for their lives, only to I know what I want them to do. So how about I write that? Charlie and Abigail ran for their lives, only to miss a blank and fall off the edge of the sidewalk.
Oh no.
So they plummeted, but I wanted to say they missed a step, but like I don't want to be that easy on it. Ran for their lives to try and catch a. You put flying gondola, so
Yeah, I did do that.
So I'm gonna put an. This is like a real thing. They call aerobus, right? An aerobus is a thing. Only catch to try and catch the aerobus, but misstepped in their panic and fell off the edge of the sidewalk. There we go.
I think this should be swarm.
It's okay. I won't dock you any points.
Okay.
Somebody going to say? I hope so, because otherwise this would be a very short story. They fell into a family carrying their new trampoline. There we go.
Can they be the thing that flies?
Sure. Sounds soaring through the air. We're in for it now, Abby. Charlie, muttered as he realized only as he realized they were flying towards. This is going to be cheap, but flying towards the clouds in the distance and away from Floatsville. We're in for it now, Abby. I want to move that up there. That'd be part of the safe sentence. What are we gonna do? As they hit the ground, what ground did they hit? I'm imagining the floating city.
Come back down eventually.
Well, I said they were floating as they were flying away from the city.
Okay.
So they were going towards the clouds, and the city is behind them.
Okay.
So they're in imminent danger.
So they're like leaving orbit now.
Kinda. I mean, yeah, they're going away from the city. They either are going to plummet to their deaths, or something's going to happen to rescue them. I know what I would do if I were you. If you want to pass the buck and just do a line of dialogue, I'll do that. But I know what I would do.
Oh, but we can't repeat.
You can't repeat. I mean, you can use the same thing. You just need something in addition to it.
What else happens?
As they soared, they were rescued by one of the aeronauts.
No, but that's still reusing. I can't do that. I'm like trying to bring the story full circle, but I can't reuse. What else happens?
How about the birds called something bigger? Or maybe the birds and the bees combined. Or you could have them not being rescued and they just say something to the effect of, "We would be okay if only I had my parachute."
Yeah.
You pass the buck to me to figure it out. You don't have to solve the problem.
That's true. We don't have to do that. It's another flying.
Let's we could always good. I cheat all the time. Flying things. Just Google flying things. Things that fly. I love these pictures.
So how far up are they now? Would they be too high up for like a...
I mean, when you think of fantasy flying cities, they're usually among the clouds.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where I'm imagining. I love this picture. We have satellites, spaceships, the sun, airplanes. We have a coin with bat wings. What? Umbrellas, paragliders, a crown with wings. You can't just put wings on something and call it a flying thing. Blimp is a good one. Helicopters. Like we're thinking of all these complicated things. Maybe we should. How about just a helicopter? Whoever gets the job done.
Helicopter?
As they soared,
pilot? I don't know if that's what you call them.
Rescued by helicopter pilot.
They were. I feel like that's not the best sentence.
Well, let's clean it up. So as they plummeted, because I like.
Yeah, that's better.
As they plummeted, one of the town's rescue helicopters swooped in and slid them into the open cargo doors. Right? As they plummeted, so the helicopters just whoosh. Like that. That's a pretty skilled helicopter pilot. Did I ask to be rescued? Abigail questioned before leaping, because Charlie was the one worried. So did I ask to be rescued? Abigail questioned before leaping back out the door and pressing the button on her belt, activating a jetpack for her to fly away. On Floatsville, you got to have the right tech.
Yeah.
So now Charlie is left in the helicopter by himself. Maybe she can complete the errand on her own. Maybe she doesn't need him. Or maybe Charlie can hijack the helicopter to try and beat her there. I think we could put Charlie there. Like that.
Yeah.
Not wanting his sister to get all the credit for buying the steaks. What do you think dragon meat tastes like? I wouldn't want to eat this. If somebody offered me dragon, I don't think I would want to eat
I know, it seems like it would be kind of tough, I would
Yeah, like
think.
chewy, right? Yeah. Forget that. Not wanting. Oh, nice one. Not wanting his sister to get all the credit for buying the steaks, Charlie spread his arms, stretched out his sweater, and soared after her like a flying squirrel. Unfortunately, Abigail powered pack was too strong for Charlie, and he was forced to also I want to give Charlie a little boost. Fortunately, Abigail's power pack was too strong for Charlie, and he was forced to. What does he want to do? No, it's not going to work. What do you think? This is a tough one.
It is.
Oh, I know what he did. I know what he's going to do. Take my own advice. I'm going to use a blimp. So, unfortunately, Abigail's power pack was too strong for Charlie to catch up, forcing him to use the draft of a nearby passing blimp.
That's good.
To make up the distance. Now it's a race. Flying squirrel versus jetpack versus blimp boosted jetpack. Blimp boosted flying squirrel. But these two can be in the same paragraph. Let's see, where are we at? All right, we're going to start to wrap this up. All right, so now you have to imagine that they're both coming back to Floatsville, right? The city?
Yeah.
Which gives us a lot more to play with. This is a nice little fantasy adventure amongst the clouds.
Yeah, I like it.
It's whimsical. Competing
It
siblings.
is. Whimsical is the right word.
Competing siblings. It's starting to get dark, and by the light of the dragonflies, the siblings both landed. All right, now we are going to do 3 for 3, which basically means we each have 3 sentences left.
Okay.
Which is 6 sentences total to wrap this thing up. So, ditching the jetpack and sweater, both kids took off sprinting towards the butcher shop. No, ditching the butcher shop to be the first ones there, barreling through a. I was gonna say flies, but you already did dragonflies, and we had bees, so I need to do something else. Let's look. Let's cheat. Let's go back to my Google and see if I can find something. Something I want to do. Trying to think. Ooh, I know. I hear about it. This is not really cheating. It's kind of cheating, but I'll do it anyway. Barreling through several floating lanterns in the process. Does that count? I'm thinking like they have those things, right? They're like
Yeah.
lanterns, and they just kind of like, ooh.
Yeah, I think it counts.
Let's see. Let's Google. What's a floating lantern called? Are they just called Chinese paper lanterns? Yeah, kind of. They're called sky lanterns, which is
Huh.
much
I like
cooler
that.
than floating lanterns.
Sky lanterns.
That's the other thing. You just put sky in front of it.
Yeah.
It's a sky bus. It's a sky school. Sprinting towards the butcher shop to be the first ones there. It's the wrong there. All right, so that's my first sentence. You have 3 more, and I have 2 more.
Okay. Things that fly.
Giving up? You're going to Google? That's fine. This is a tough one, but we're coming out on top. There's a flying snake. What's a flying snake?
Oh, weird. Oh, that sounds awful.
Gliding snake. The aerodynamics of their gliding motion allows some, like the paradise tree snake, to glide distances of over 30 feet.
Wow.
Can you imagine an army of flying snakes just coming at you?
That sounds terrible. Okay. So they're sprinting to the butcher shop.
Yeah, they're trying to get there on time, or they're trying to be the first ones there. Let's see. They could either arrive, or they could have to go through more stuff before they get there. Maybe the butcher shop is out of dragon steaks. That would cause a problem, right, Cora? Let's see what Google decided to call you. You're an anonymous tiger. That's a good one. I don't know why it does that when I invite people. It rarely puts their name there. It always makes them like some weird guest. Hoverboard. Oh, now she's just stealing from people?
I'm assuming she'll give it back.
Abigail snatched the hoverboard off a nearby pedestrian. She pulled a Marty McFly.
Yeah.
Literally just stole a hoverboard from a kid. Abigail snatched the hoverboard off a nearby pedestrian and beat Charlie to the butcher. Beat Boyd to the butcher shop. Okay. Charlie to the butcher shop. But she couldn't slow down and crashed through the front door, sending the hoverboard through the window on the far side of the shop, and then colliding with a, how about this, air bike? I'm just going to do it. With an air bike rider on the other side. Uh-oh. I have one more sentence. You have 2.
Okay. Oh, but I need.
And remember, we're trying to wrap up this story, so we have 3 sentences total. Try to put a nice bow on it. The air bike rider was a courier.
I don't know if this is gonna work.
Hi. Oh. It's okay. It's just, I know it's almost dinner time. You want dinner? You know, puppies, puppy. So the butcher shop owner obviously is not going to be too happy about that.
Yeah.
So maybe Charlie just like turns and walks away. So he was just ditching his sister to clean up the mess by himself. That would be on character for Charlie, you know?
Yeah.
You would think a kid that terrorizes birds will also ditch his sister in her moment of trouble.
Oh yeah.
It's all right. Now, when he faced the wrath of the butcher, Charlie turned on his heels and ran away as fast as an eagle. Abigail wasn't surprised when she turned around and already saw her brother hitching a ride back home on a passing. All right, then we go back to things that fly. On a passing. Let's get something silly. Passing things that fly. Mosquitoes. Ugh.
Giant mosquito.
We got a helicopter. We didn't do an airplane, did we?
I don't think we've even done airplane.
We haven't done like the easiest one. We knocked out birds in the first one.
Yeah.
And then now we came back to airplane. I don't know. I want something like sillier. How about this? How about we Google silly things that fly?
Silly things that fly.
Oh, this is a terrible thing to Google.
Sky whale.
This is not a good idea.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah, why not? I mean, this is a fantasy story. Passing. Pterodactyl? I did not spell that right. On a passing pterodactyl cab. Why not? Somebody operates a pterodactyl as a taxi. Oh, no, there we go. A taxidactyl?
A taxidactyl. I like it.
A taxidactyl. All right, you have one more.
Okay.
I think we could finish this up with a commentary from Abigail. That's up to you. Take us home. Abigail realized she had dropped some of the money when she collided with the air bike and only had enough.
Took turkeys sort of fly.
Money for one.
I guess.
Small. Abigail realized she had dropped some of the money when she collided with Airback and only had enough. And
do they fly enough to count? I guess they
yeah,
can.
sure.
Clumsily fly.
And much to her mother's future dismay, only had enough money for one small turkey. The end. Yay!
Yay!
Thank you, Sarah. That was a tough one. I have to
Yeah.
admit, but it was fun.
It was fun.
We turned it into a little. It's whimsical. It's innocent story, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kids trying to one up each other.
It's cute.
So before we're out, tell us about No Spells Last Forever one more time.
Yeah, so it is the third issue is live right now. We've got the stretch goals that we've got coming up. So we've hit the 50 and 75 backer bonuses. We hit the first stretch goal, which was a PDF of all of the inks for the issue.
Do you have an image of that or no?
The inks.
And well, I'm just saying for the goals. Yeah, I see the extra bonus.
Oh, the goals are described on here somewhere.
Here we go. I found them.
Okay. And then the next two goals are we have some digital posters, and if we hit the next goals, we'll be making those into printed cards that we'll send out with anyone who backs at a physical tier.
Awesome. So again, check out No Spell Lasts Forever. Very cool looking project. I had a blast writing with you, Sarah. Thank you for having me. For coming on. And until next time.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.